Hello everyone and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're all having an amazing weekend. Currently it is Saturday and let's get right into the charts. Starting off with Bitcoin, of course, you can see right here, right now, the bulls have lost this key level that I was talking about right here. We dropped below the value area high of this range and we are right now actually at the most important level, this low right here, which is at below 75k. So as of right now we are trying to hold this low, and potentially if we don't see Bitcoin reverse from here, or if we don't see Bitcoin reverse from the monthly pivot like so, then I believe we could very well still go down to the range lows right here in between, from around 68 all the way down to 65k. Will be possible since we are back right now below the value area high, which means we are getting accepted back into this range, and the targets for this range are of course the value area low. Also we are dropping below the EMAs right now, which is not a good sign, but as I said, there is still the possibility that I talked about in my previous videos. We go down, drop to the monthly pivot, get a retest, and then we see prices start going up again. Same thing for ETH right now. We are losing the POC level right here. ETH, for example, is way below the monthly pivot. We could very well hit the value area low before we actually start reversing to the upside. Or, as you know, the most bearish scenario that we are talking about right now is that this high right here is basically the same high that happened before. So, and same thing for Bitcoin, that this high that we made right here at 82.5k was the same high that we made at 97.8k, and then we got a 37% correction. And if we measure, of course, from here, 37% correction will take us all the way down to 51k, or maybe even a bit below, to sweep this low right here from the summer range in 2024. Of course, we could still see two weekly red candles like we saw right here, and then we could get that continuation higher to actually hit the 50 EMA right here, which we also hit before we started this massive move to the downside. This is also the other scenario that I'm looking at right now. Stock market did close bullish yet again. Of course, there are some news going on around with the Iran, basically the Middle East conflict still ongoing, and we could still see some basically bearish swing failure pattern play out here at the all-time high for the S&P 500 and for the Nasdaq. Basically, we could sweep this high and then start reversing lower. The dollar right now is still going strong. You can see we have not yet filled, basically you could say we have filled this gap right here with this week, but if we get another move to the upside with like a whole candle body, then I would be more calm that we have filled this gap completely. So as of right now, I'm still targeting those highs right here for the dollar, of course. And as you know, once the dollar is strong, which it is right now, the dollar is pushing to the upside, since this support that we made right here, Bitcoin has been falling. On the short term for Bitcoin, you can see yesterday, once we started trading below VWAP, we got that drop to the downside of around 4.2%. Basically, we went down as low as 74.2k, with the delta also going down while open interest was going up. So this was a real move with real short positions opening right here and pushing the price lower. And as you can see right here, once open interest started dropping, this right here means that there were lots of long positions closing out. So the bulls got shaken out of the market right here with this drop. Of course, you can see those were the long positions to the downside, which yesterday basically got taken all out. But this is also something very concerning, since we have not filled the CME gap right here. And right now the CME chart closed at 75.9 and Currently we are trading at 74.8. We are creating gap after another gap, which is interesting to see if those two gaps that we are creating right here and the one that we created the last weekend are going to get filled with one big move to the upside, which I do believe could very well happen if the monthly pivot holds out. You can see on the CME chart, the monthly pivot is around 74.2. The monthly pivot on the normal charts are at around 73.7k, which I do believe could be also potentially this low right here could be swept. And then we could start reversing to close those gaps that we have left right here on the CME chart. Of course, they could get closed with just one big move to the upside. Fear and Greed Index right now back in the fear zone at around 33. I have told you if we start getting a move to the downside, the Fear and Greed Index is going to be back in that fear zone. Spot ETFs, we have not seen a green day since basically the last 7 days. We have not seen a single green day of spot ETFs. They have been selling a lot. BlackRock especially, they've sold more than like 1 billion of their spot ETF for Bitcoin, which is pretty insane. Long versus short ratio for right now, we do have more longs. People are trying to get in this low right here, and they could get shaken out as well with this remaining liquidity that we have to the downside. Any news for next week? Let's see. Basically, next week does look pretty calm. We do have some news on Thursday, and on Friday we do have Bitcoin options expiring right here. So basically next week, Thursday and Friday are going to be the most important days for the markets. And I do believe this would cover it for today, guys. Of course, this is not a financial advice. Always do your own research. Let me know if you want me to look at some of the altcoins that are interesting to you. I'll do my best to give a good TA about them. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.